Senator Myrie to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. Firstly, happy Kwanzaa, everybody, and happy holidays to all who celebrate. I want to first thank the staff that helped draft this bill, Adrielle Douglas, Kenan Kurt, Nick Rangel. I want to thank the chair of our Housing Committee, Senator Kavanaugh, who I think did a masterful job defending this bill. And I want to thank our majority leader for making this a priority and dealing with this issue. I remember the first time that I saw an eviction notice as a child. I didn't know what the repercussions were until much later when I was in housing court with my mom. But that experience is the same pain and anxiety and trauma that is experienced by a homeowner who gets a call or a letter from the bank telling them that the home that they've invested in is now in peril of being foreclosed on. It is the same pain and shame and anxiety that is felt by a property owner who gets a notice from their city, town, or village that their house is now going to be on sale because of back property taxes. We are in the midst of an unprecedented pandemic, one that has claimed hundreds of thousands of lives, permanently affected thousands more, and that has wreaked havoc on our economy. Just this morning, the governor reported that the state is seeing hospitalizations and infections and deaths unlike what we've seen since early May of this year. These are not normal times. We are in a public health crisis, an economic crisis, together, which has given way to a looming eviction crisis. So what this bill stands for today is a simple proposition, that you do not solve a public health crisis, you do not solve an economic crisis by kicking people out on the street. You solve it by keeping them in their homes. I've heard a lot today about kicking the can down the road. And I would ask my colleagues who think that we're kicking the can down the road, what is your alternative? To kick people on the streets instead? The data is clear. When eviction moratoria end, COVID-19 infections and consequently COVID-19 deaths increase. This isn't a business proposition. This isn't a profit proposition. This isn't a bottom line proposition. It is life or death. So I proudly support this bill today because not only is it the strongest protection for tenants and homeowners in the country, but because the single mom in Rochester who lost her job through no fault of her own deserves to stay in her home. The family in Syracuse that has to take care of more children and the elderly deserve to stay in their home. The restaurant worker in Buffalo who has less hours through no fault of their own deserves to stay in their home. And property owners in Brooklyn, in Queens, the Bronx, who've invested everything into their homes, who have sheltered tenants, they too deserve to stay in their homes. Now, some have said that this bill doesn't go far enough, that more relief is needed. And I agree, and we will fight for more. But this Democratic majority stood up and led the nation in protecting tenants and property owners at a time when they needed it the most. So help is on the way. And we believe that you should be able to stay in your home to receive it. For those reasons, I vote in the affirmative, Mr. President. Thank you.